Ravenwood, eerily beautiful at dusk, where ancient pines sway under moonlight, hiding secrets in their whispering shadows. For 18-year-old Clara Evans, moving here meant hoping for a fresh start. A new high school, new friends, no past, but Ravenwood was too still. Too perhaps too haunted. Clarine's first evening arrived wrapped in anticipation and nerves. She unpacked in a modest rental house on Cedar Lane, humming a guilty rendition of I Will Survive to steady herself that night. She slept fitfully, dreams drifting between normal teenage anxieties and something darker. On her first day at Ravenwood High, Clara walked the halls and carefully chose neutral tones. She wanted to blend in, but she noticed it immediately. 3 boys who seemed more interesting than the rest and inexplicably fixating on her. First was Lucien Blackthorn, so tall he had to duck through the doorway into English class. His raven black hair hung in artful disarray. His pale green eyes sharp and inscrutable. He exuded confidence, the kind that made others yield space. He was beautiful, dangerous. He didn't look at the teacher. He looked at her. Then there was Jaxon Wolf, who looked like sunshine personified, sunlight brown hair. Easy smile, eyes like chipped amber. He caught her eye in the hallway and gave her a small wave. Like, hey, new girl, I here. The kind of guy you might expect to date. Obviously unattainable. He was the captain of the football team, possibly, who asked every new girl to join the pep rally. And finally, there was Dorian Vale, with dusky brunette curls and electric blue eyes. He moved into class late, looked sideways at her, and slid into the nearest empty desk. No wave, just a look that burned, sad, intense. Like he had seen too much too soon. Adjusting her bag straps in the reflection of the polished metal, she caught Lucien watching her. He gave her a cold, ghost-like nod that lingered like a promise she could decipher. By lunchtime, she was strangled by nerves. She walked outside to the benches near the football field, trying to stay small. But Jaxon found her. "Hi, new girl," he said, tossing a friendly grin her way. "I, Jaxon, want company," she nodded, and immediately felt crackling charge of excitement. With him, it felt safe. With Lucien, it felt electric and wrong. With Dorian, she wasn't sure yet. As they ate and joked, the lunch bell didn't really come. It just slipped away. Jaxon teased her about her playlist, made her laugh honestly for the first time since the move. But before class resumed, Jaxon leaned forward, compassion shadowing his smile. "Be care." "About what?" Clara asked. Jaxon just glanced over his shoulder. "There are things in Ravenwood not everybody knows. Not everything is right." Then he winked and left, vanishing into the crowd like he'd never existed. That afternoon, English class crawled by. Clara scribbled notes, but barely absorbed a word. Her mind echoed with his warning, bad things in Ravenwood, and the constant hum of Lucien green gaze, unblinking and unreadable. That night, she had the dream. She was standing in an ancient stone courtyard. Lit by torches and moonlight, she wore a long, crimson gown that twirled around her in an unseen breeze across the courtyard. Lucien stood in dark armor, his face masked, eyes glimmering with longing and regret. She reached out to him. As she did, the stones beneath her feet spilled blood-red petals that curled and died. She screamed, but no sound came. Lucien closed his distance. He knelt and said, "I should have protected you, but I had to feed." Clara gasped. Her neck tingled, and beneath the covers, she felt something damp, like saliva or a dream blood stain. She sat in the dark. Heart beat pounding. The air in her room grew cold, her skin prickling with presence. She froze, staring at the dim glow of her desk lamp. Lucien, words she would never forget. I had to feed. The next evening, her roommate Jen dragged her to a dorm house bonfire, Frost Halle informal welcome party. Spirits were high, laughter, phone cameras, mugs of hot cider, and spiked punch. Students posing against hay bales. Clara tried to join in, but every time she laughed, she saw them. Lucien leaning against a tree, white fingers trailing down bark. Jaxon perched on a log, watching her protectively, Dorian slipping in through the shadows. His gaze distant and sharp. It was Lucien who came to her first. He didn't introduce himself or speak. He just stood, watching how she moved. When she tried to talk, her throat closed up. The flame of her courage extinguished without warning. Later, as she walked to the restroom, she felt something tugging, clawing inside. Her head spun, her vision tunneled. Everything went red and gray. She stumbled. A gasp escaped. Then, when she realized, someone had followed her. A long shadow fell over her from the center of the bonfire aglow. She looked up at Lucien, close enough that she could see the real green of his eyes and his fangs. Faintly glinting. Then he bit. She closed her eyes fast, felt sharp pain, felt heat wash into her veins, and then nothing when she awakened. Lucien's voice was in her head like silk. "You saved me first, you will remember." Trembling, Clara pushed past classmates and flooded out into the night. She tore off her shirt at the back door, saw the mark in the mirror. 2 perfect punctures, faint crimson, heart swelled with terror, on a deep yearning she could name. She stumbled through the dorm courtyard and slammed against a tree. Someone carried her to the front steps. She remembered jumbled murmurings, flickers of torchlight. She woke at home. No hospital, no counselors, though the college nurse watched her leave. A note was left in her hand, in hesitant, unfamiliar cursive. "You are not safe alone. Meet me at the old church tonight." J. She shivered, reading the J. Was it Jaxon? His promise sealed in one letter? At night, she crept out, mind thundering. She found him in the abandoned chapel, down on cedar lying, stained glass windows cracked. Moonbeams shining on peeling pews and rotting wood. "Jaxon," she whispered. Heart pounding, he stood behind the altar, hands in his pockets, coat collar raised. "Claire," he said softly when she stepped inside. Your voice broke. "I think I've been bit." He nodded, eyes worried. "Lucien done it. I don't feel sick," she said. But she trembled and smelled the damp earth too keenly. Jaxon walked from the shadows and gently touched her. "Lucien is a vampire," Jaxon whispered, voice breaking. "He belonged to Ravenwood for centuries. You, his target, and I here to protect you." Claren, we twisted. Protector or predator? Outside, the moonlight caught silver at the broken organ window. The trees whispered somewhere in that echo. She heard Dorian's voice. Distant and trembling, "He was mine until you woke him." A chill ran down her spine. Clara realized impossibly. 3 beautiful, dangerous boys. 1 bite, 3 destinies. Our life had changed forever. Ravenwood was no longer a quiet town, was a stage for darkness, and she was the prize.